growth hack, I'm talking about your best self. Now, this was an exercise put forward by a guy called Mike Bayer, and it's taken from his book, Your Best Self. And what I need to express at the start of this video is this is not about being perfect. One of the things that I believe is that nobody's perfect. One of the core elements of why we do what we do with personal growth is we want to be looking on areas to work on. Without that, we wouldn't have personal growth. There'd be no reason for it. Personal growth is literally about looking at areas to improve and then setting goals to go out and improve in those relevant areas. So it's important to express that nobody is perfect. But this exercise is good because what it allows you to do is think about the person that you want to be in certain situations. So in this exercise, he splits it down into two elements. One is your negative self, the person you don't really like being as much or who's acted in a certain way in a certain environment and you didn't particularly like it, and you can reflect back on that. And then the second part is your best self. Who do you want to act like in those situations? Who do you want to be? Good example that I can always use for this is, I know that when I go out on a weekend and I maybe go out too much, it leaves me feeling exhausted, like sluggish all week, really tired. And I find it harder to be at work and I find it harder to be motivated. So what I've had to do is use this exercise to help me in that situation. So now, if I've got something coming up in business that next week, something important, a public speaking event, a workshop, I know that going out on that weekend's not going to serve me. So my negative self is, if I go out and drink this weekend, I'm going to feel sluggish, I'm going to feel tired, I'm going to feel exhausted, and I'm not going to have the energy that I want when it comes to delivering a public speaking event. Whereas my best self will stay in that weekend, and I know that when I turn up that next week for that public speaking event, my best self is there, full of energy, full of enthusiasm, not sluggish, and it's just a simple element of how I can apply this in my life. Like I say, this isn't saying I never go out on a week and enjoy myself, because it's not the case at all, but it's just reflecting on that person there and then that this is coming up, this is the person I want to be. I want to be my best self this week, and the way I can be that is by doing this. So that's my example. There's numerous other ways that we can use it. It might be where you've lost your temper in a certain situation. What could you have done better? Who do you not want showing up? Who would you rather show? In your relationships, what parent do you want to be? Who is that best self, and how do you want to act? So what it's about doing is, again, it's like I say, it's not about being perfect. It's just about identifying the traits that you want and then acting in that way to be that person. So like I say, simple exercise, use the diagram and just think of situations in your life where it's relevant to you and how your best self can show up.